a month? 500 a year. And 1 year is 365 days. You minus off the holiday, Saturday, Sunday, so practically every day you're going to see 2 or 3. Just imagine to see 2 or 3 prospect. Luckily, the petrol price went up also, you know. So there's a lot of cost expenses to look at 3 customers to collect X amount of money. But Dato has shared with you that one IFA has closed 1 corporate case. Under 1 company exposed to how many clients is that? How many on board? 300, 400? 1 venue, 400 clients. Petrol price, only 1 venue. Parking, only 1 parking. So you see, this is a door opportunity for all UTC today here, because not only you guys sell unit trust, you also can cross-sell other product once you hit 1 company. With 1 company with 300, 400 employees who participate in PRS, that is your client. That is your database. That database, you can cross-sell your unit trust, which is EPF, and you also can start assuming that you guys financial planners sell insurance. That is very, very important. If you don't see it, then just do unit trust, and you know you have friends who invest in unit trust, ask you to buy PRS. That's it. But you see opportunities out there for long term, because PRS is not a 100-meter dash; it's a marathon game. You must believe it's a marathon game. Okay. If you believe so, you want to build your asset over long term, your retirement, then start looking at corporates, because easy is a door opener. All right.
Thank you, Edward. What Mr. Edward say is very correct, because our petrol price increase, our parking fee increase, everything increased, but our commission rate never increased. Continue reduce now with PLS, 3%. Then some provider continue promoting 0 sales charge. So how to survive in this business? So the cost efficiency is very important in our today's survival as a financial planners. Okay. Using the corporate PLS approach, you are able to reach the mass people at one particular location. As what Mr. Edward said, only 1 parking. And in 1 day itself, you can see many people. So for fellow consultants, you might want to see PLS from different angle. And we know Manulife is one of providers who continue promoting vesting schedule from day 1. Right? Vesting schedule here, waiting schedule there. And some providers not even touch waiting schedule. Yeah, why you are so emphasized on waiting schedule? In what way you see waiting schedule can help company to retain their staff?
You ask a company why they want to contribute additional money in order to retain employee. You know, existing already they already pay to EPF. They already say I pay 12%. Some people pay 16%. Why they add additional 3% to take advantage of 19%? Is an additional cost to them. If they want to implement that, for retention program, you must hold your employee back, isn't it? I give a very, very example. If you hire a sales staff to sell unit trust, and you pay the person 5,000 ringgit, that is the cost to you, expenses to you, am I right? How much do you expect that staff to bring in money to you? If you pay a person salary of 5,000 ringgit, and the fellow, after 1 month, they bring in 0 revenue to you. Is it good stuff? To me, I sack the bugger immediately, right? So assuming you invest 5,000 in that staff salary, he bring in 5,000 revenue. I just break even on this staff. Maybe I give him additional 3 more months. What about if you have a staff that bring in 15,000 a month to you and you pay a salary of 5,000? Is it good stuff? Yes. So you want to retain the staff, isn't it? So in order to retain the staff, what is the component of any investment vehicle can retain the staff? What do you have? You pay him EPF. Okay, I assume I pay him EPF, everything up to 19%. If all the effort you try to do so, if the employee resign tomorrow, the money, all your effort all go down the drain, because he can, the whole money is vested to him already. He run away in the 19%. Right? So in order to do that, you've seen many companies in Malaysia. You heard about ESOS, right? Employee Share Option Scheme. They put vesting. A vesting means you love me for 10 years, work hard for me for 10 years, you continue to work for 10 years, on the 11th, if you resign, the money is yours. It's called retention scheme. So that retention scheme, we call it vesting. So love me as long as possible, right? If they love me less than what is supposed to love me less than 10 years, then the money go back to the employer. Now, with vesting in PRS, you can do that only in PRS. Unlike the old scheme called ESOS. ESOS means a company issue ESOS, share option. Once they issue to the employee, technically they pass the tax liability to the employee already. Whereas vesting right now, you are passing the buck into PRS, your tax is a tax exempted for the employer. For the employee, they hold to retirement, they don't have to pay tax. Plus, the company can do a proper retirement benefit, retention program. And this is what we see in US, they call it 401k. Some of them do matching. If I invest $1, employee invest $1, right? So there's a lot of mechanisms you can do, but however, when you do vesting, please don't use vesting. You tell company, when you do vesting, don't use Excel spreadsheet to do vesting. A lot of error. We have seen companies who make major error, right? You need a full-fledged system. So that is where we believe that for corporates to retain employees, given an example I give to you, it actually does work.
Good, thank you. Mr. Steve, anything input? How PRS can retain the staff?
The vesting schedule currently is not the thrust of our marketing activities right now, because we have been, like our colleagues here from Manulife and RHP, we have been talking to corporates and all that. Yeah, Edward is right. The file always gets stuck at the HR director's table. It's not going further because he's not willing to invest more money to integrate the system. There is absolutely no way you can do manual Excel salary deduction or for a few hundred staff. It's very dangerous.
So for a provider, do you have any solution for that? If your consultant bring a corporate company, they are willing to put in the money using vesting schedule, but they're stuck with the payroll part. Yeah, you have any advice?
We probably, as a provider, we probably have to fund, partially fund the system integration.
To help them.
We have to come up with some sort of system that is maybe just an overlay over the existing system to make two systems talks together, talks to each other to do the salary deduction. Otherwise, we are, like I said, we are a smaller player. We don't have the bank to back this. After the so-called rumored deal, we may have a network of distributor. But at the moment, we are just going for the low-hanging fruits. We're going for the easy money.
Yeah.
The individuals. Yeah.
Okay, great. Vesting schedule is something new to a lot of consultants, but personally, I find it's a door opener for me to open up a topic of discussions with the entrepreneur. They will talk to them. But you know what happened? You always ended up voluntary enrollment for the staff. They will put aside the vesting schedule because they will cost them money. But anyhow, it's a good topic to open it up. Right? What do you expect the private pension industry to achieve in next 3-5 years? Right? Yeah, you're going to be our crystal ball, so we hope you can give us some light before we really die hard for that. You see, we are no more young, no?
I think there's no crystal ball. The Capital Market Master Plan, I think in 10 years' time, government wants this industry to grow to 31 billion. In terms of asset size, so I think
21 billion.
31 billion.
31 billion.
30.9 to be more exact. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think all the providers here, with all the distributors and all of you, we need to work towards achieving that.
Now I know why CEO are so passionate. Wow, it's big money for them, big bonuses to them. Okay, but make sure they survive strongly. Mr. Edward, what do you think? The market opportunity.
I think there's always market. I mentioned to you, if we don't believe in this pension business, we will quit this business 76 tahun dahulu. All right. I think it's not a one-man show who promote PRS. It cannot only, Steve only wants to do his awareness. He will do his awareness, I will do my awareness. He has different strategy. He doesn't believe vesting. I believe vesting, and so on and so on. I think bottom line is that creating awareness is so key, and it has to be mooted by an industry player. I think that's the reason why we are glad that we have a PPA. PPA has a vision of creating awareness up to 25%, am I right, Dato'? I think we have to insist in creating awareness. That's why we have to work together in unison to create that awareness. Because if, you know, like, Three Musketeers, you know what I mean? So we got to work all together to promote this awareness. If not, then a lot of money will be wasted. He run his own advertisement, I run my own advertisement, you know, and so on. I think that's not right way to do, all right?
Mr. Steve?
Yeah, I think the PPA is playing its role. We are playing
everything
our role.
go to PPA,
Yeah. PPA is doing the awareness at the more macro level.
Okay.
As in addressing the need for retirement,
Yeah.
the need for the third pillar. Okay. Whereas we are doing our part in going to the ground or doing our smaller A&P projects to educate the public of what we have got to offer, how it fits into the PPA big picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So like all new products, I think we'll probably be going through what we call a J-curve effect.
Okay.
After PPF spend the money, after we spend the money, we're probably going to see explosive growth, maybe another 3 years, 5 years, depending on how hard we work. And you're going to get the, like Dato said, if the awareness would go up 25%, you're going to see a lot more activities going on in terms of sales and in terms of roadshows and all that.
So you're saying that we need 3, 4, 5 years to really to see the result to come in?
I can't commit to the 31B though.
We cannot commit to 31B, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so fellow member friends, you can see the market opportunity is so big, 31 billion. I don't know 31 billion, how many zero at the back. Never come into my mind before. But it's for sure one thing. If you are foreseeing yourself going to be active in the business for the next 3, 4, 5 years, then probably I can advise you, forget about PRS. Because after all, you're going to retire in 3, 4, 5 years from now. But if you're going to foresee yourself in the business in between 10, 20 years or anything more than that, I think we have to make friends with PLS. Don't you think so? Yeah, if we do make friends with PLS, eventually PLS will kick us out from the business. Yeah? Okay, thank you for all the panelists for all the answers you've given. Now I'd like to open to the floor. Yeah, you're welcome to ask questions. Anyone? Anyone want to be the first one? Question from the floor? Help me to ask some technical question, very difficult question, very sharp question to the speaker here. No question. Hello? Okay. PRS consultant. Those consultants who show their hand just now say you're a PRS consultant. Right. Why you never move PRS business? Can you raise your concern? Let the provider to help you. I think they're more than happy to help you. Yeah? No questions. Yes, we have one question from gentleman here. Please. She's not asking question.
Okay. It's a lively afternoon after lunch. That's good. Applause to our moderator.
Thank you very much. We are together, man.
Okay. This is about skepticism. Well, EPF is principal protected, minimum dividend of 2.5%, where the NAV will not drop adjusted, while PRS is there's no principal protected, move according to the market, whether it's growth income or income. If we look into EPF MIS, correct me if I'm wrong. I participated personally in the EPF MIS withdrawal for what's that? Portfolio. It's not unit trust. Portfolio, non-discretionary. And there are stocks which EPF inform the fund managers, fund management company, that cannot be bought under that scheme. So those are stocks which are not purchasable by members, even though they have the right to give orders to purchase or to sell. I just wonder whether that also applies for PRS fund management. PRS funds under PRS scheme. Whether there are any restrictions that you must exclude this kind of stocks from your universe?
Fund selections.
Not that I know of. We haven't seen anything of that sort in the guideline. And plus, I think EPF, I don't think you can do non-discretionary, right? It's the mainly discretionary. Oh, 5 years ago, okay, yeah. So I believe right now it's all discretionary. You just have to leave the discretion with the fund manager. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that this was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. But then, in my opinion, if people are skeptical about PRS, then perhaps that kind of regulation that fund under this PRS cannot invest in certain stocks defined as blah blah blah, then actually that will give some comfort to the investing public.
I mean, to me, the purpose of this the PRS thing, the part of the reason is also to institutionalize retail money. At the moment, I probably have got my money under the pillow, in a bank, in properties or whatever. With PRS, a big chunk of the money is being institutionalized. I don't see how coming out with a negative list, what we call, as fund managers, we call it negative list, can help or assuage fear of, assuage fear from the public to get into PRS. I think the key is to actually show the public some performance. Okay, we go to the ground for those more educated, more in tune with the market. They always ask this question: is it guaranteed? Is it guaranteed? I mean, this is in relation to EPF. We tell them point blank, it's not. Okay, it's not guaranteed, and if you cannot take risks, I think you should consider other form of investment or the conservative funds. Okay, guarantee is not an issue. You get into PRS because you want higher return. Yeah.
Right. I always tell the public, all the PRS providers or fund managers, they are obliged to outperform themselves against EPF. That is for sure. Because the mandate allowed them to have more equity exposure. So they have to do that. But now it's too early for us to judge which provider are doing their good job. It's too early. We need about 4 or 5 years to see the consistent performance. If any provider, they are not able to do their good job, I don't think they are able to survive well in the business. That's for sure. Mr. Anthony, you have anything input to add on for this question being asked?
I think this PRS is a bit different from that EPF withdrawal scheme. We do run that scheme as well. So it is a totally different investment. So for PRS, we are governed by the offering documents, investment guidelines, restrictions, and so forth. And then on top of that, I think all of us, we have our own internal investment guidelines as well that govern our fund managers, the way they invest and so forth. So we can only invest in stocks that are included in our buy list. So not all stocks in the whole stock market are allowed to be bought by the fund manager. So I think these are after very stringent research process that all of us have here. So that's why you only see